I fit healthy foods into my diet because, do I fit healthy foods into my diet? I'm trying to eat well. I kind of just go eat salads.
You don't have to go crazy, eat salad for every meal. That's insane.
You have to remember, food is very essential. It impacts our mood more than we think it does.
I know it can seem extremely frustrating when you feel like you don't have a say over what food you eat because your parents are the ones who get the food for you. However, if you just ask them, hey, can you pick up some strawberries? Can we have a salad tonight? It'll really amaze you how much more open-minded they are than you may have first believed.
My parents, well, they always are the ones who make food, but any times I eat out, I like eating like meals that typically have more balanced stuff in between, stuff in them, like vegetables, fruits, you know, like anything that makes the meal not just, you know, like rice or like noodles or like bread.
My mom drinks these crazy green smoothies all the time that are like super bitter and they smell really bad, but like a million vegetables in there, beets, radishes, everything. I don't know how she drinks them. So I asked her to make like a watered down version of that for me, and so I get that about every other morning or so. And so that gives you a nice balance of different leafy vegetables, which is what most people lack in their diets.
I think one main strategy is just making sure that I'm eating a consistent meal at a consistent time. Usually when it's just a few small things here and there throughout the day and not any specific large meal, it's really easy to just eat like a bag of chips.
The most important thing is to find healthy foods that you like, because if you just try to stuff down yourself healthy foods that you don't like, it's not going to be sustainable.
They want to change their diet in order to be less stressed. I would just say, dude, get a blender and make a green smoothie, because they're simple and easy to make. But if they're like, oh no, I would recommend a green smoothie basically no matter what their problem was.
Personally, I fit healthy eating into my diet by just doing everything in moderation. You know, oh, I want some chocolate right now, I'll only have like a few pieces, and I'll make sure I eat healthier later in the day.
I think the most important strategy that works for me, definitely self-control, you know, and consciousness. When I'm at the gas station with my buddies and we're about to get food, you know, sometimes I just choose not to get anything, because the more conscious I am about making, you know, better eating decisions, the better I'm going to be overall, because when I'm conscious about it, I know that I'm making an effort to sort of make myself more healthy as a person.
A little bit here, a little bit there, and, you know, maybe you'll instill some habits in yourself.
So what we eat is so important to how we feel. What makes me feel best is eating tons of vegetables and healthy fats and proteins. This is what helps me run through the day, helps me focus and study, and is really just best for me. For you, if you're trying to eat healthier, think about talking to your parents about it. Talk about how you can fit healthier choices into dinner, and maybe even offer to go to the grocery store with them. The best thing I ever did for my eating habits was start to notice how things made me feel after I ate them, and this just really helped me be able to make healthier choices.
Yeah, for me, eating well really starts at the beginning of the day. So I always make sure before I go out, whether it be going to school or, you know, on a weekend, that I have something in my system in the morning. So whether that be, you know, a protein bar in the morning, an orange juice, something a little bit less, or, you know, something more formal like eggs and toast, I always want to make sure I have something in my system before I leave for the day. Also, I always try to manage my snacks throughout the day. So I always want to make sure that, you know, I have either a snack bar with me so that I don't, you know, get tempted to potentially, you know, go to the cafeteria and get something a little bit more unhealthy. I also find that you know, it's okay sometimes to eat unhealthy foods. You know, I think people think that, you know, oh, you can never go and splurge and go get fast food or get something from the cafeteria that might be a little bit more unhealthy. I think for me, it's more so about managing it. So, you know, if I feel, you know, like I really want to get this type of food that might be a little bit more unhealthy, you know, also managing that throughout the week, you know, with other healthy snacks. And finally, I found that it can be difficult in high school to feel like you can cook for yourself, but I found that sometimes you can do it with little things. So for example, you know, when I was in high school, I had a blender at my house, so I found it really helpful sometimes to just make smoothies for myself. So that way, you know, even though my parents were cooking for me, it was, you know, something I could do for myself to help me feel like I was in control of my diet.
Yeah, totally. So just tune in to how things are making you feel and what you're eating, and think about ways that you can make healthier choices.